Hello, friends and enemies, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your super fluffy host, and today I shall be telling you about my problems with Pathfinder. So, this story naturally starts a long time ago, back when I was still doing D&D semi regularly. Things weren't all that great for me, but you know, I still had the occasional game on. I was still with the group that I was a part of. We hadn't quite broken down yet, but still. Pathfinder, well, is the alpha or the beta, something had come out. And you had to pay for it. And of course, everybody was super excited about it because, we had been spending like years at this point working on our own like version 3.75 for D&D. And so everybody's super excited to see what was added in. Because I remember someone mentioning, I don't know if they were with Paizo or something else, but someone had mentioned how they had taken a lot of the community's feedback for Pathfinder. So everybody's super excited for it. We knew 4th edition was coming out soon, I think, or something like that. That it was a long time ago. But regardless, so everybody got, super excited for it. Had to pay for it. Again, just a reminder of that to get into this alpha or beta. But yeah, everybody got into it. And it started to slowly spread in the game forum thingy that we were a part of. And there were problems. If you played the original version of Pathfinder, you probably know that things weren't perfect with it. Like there's some stuff where 3.5 was better, etc., etc. But regardless, we tried to get into it, but this is kind of where my enjoyment of D&D and where everything else just sort of ended up dying. Basically, we gave a lot of feedback. Like, there was a lot of feedback that we gave. Pages upon pages, we all went through. Like I'd mentioned, this group was like optimizers and etc. So, we kind of tore this thing to pieces, looking for everything we could to optimize it, make it better, fix some of the broken stuff. Because initially there was some really, really questionable things. Like, I'm pretty sure power attack for fighters was just, like, you could only get like a total +3 from it or something silly like that. But, we did our best. We went through, we tried to give them hints, tips, etc. Especially about the top end, because initially human, like the standard human wizard or cleric or whatever, was practically more powerful than in 3.5 and the versions that we played. And I gave my feedback to the group, and it was all implemented into one big document and sent off. So maybe what I was told wasn't entirely true, but effectively I was told that basically Paizo had taken all the feedback we'd given and then said it wasn't what they were looking for, or something like that. I was basically told that they took our feedback, said to F off, and then just deleted all of it, which I'm pretty sure did not happen, because that would be just ridiculous. But still, it left a really bad taste in my mouth, because we'd spent all of this work and time trying to help fix stuff, just to be told that, no thanks, we're not going to implement any of your ideas. And of course, naturally, we kept at it. A bunch of people sort of stopped worrying about it. It wasn't something they were interested in anymore. As soon as their ideas got rejected, they were like, oh, well, if they don't want my help, then they're not going to get it. But still, I tried making characters just to show this is broken, this needs to be worked on. Because I'm pretty sure that there was supposedly someone from Paizo in that forum that we could, show stuff to, and that would would do games and etc. And so I'd be like, hey, look, if I do this, it's basically infinite damage. Yay. And, no response, etc. So, needless to say, very negative views of Paizo. Especially because as we kept going, we just kept getting nothing from them. Like, I don't know what all ideas were sent off. But I was effectively told after like a year, like I was given an update or whatever when it finally released because I quit D&D and etc. at that time. Like after 4E came out, I basically just quit D&D. But I was basically given an update from someone that basically said, that, yeah, all of our ideals, not a single one of them went into the game. So if you had any interest in Pathfinder, yeah, they didn't like any of our ideals, and so I wouldn't recommend it. That sort of thing. Which at the time, I quit D&D. I had no interest in Pathfinder anyway. But still, so yeah. Effectively, my problem with Pathfinder was summed up as all the stuff we wanted to do, tried to help, and etc. was just rejected. And again, like I said, for all I know, the guy who gave out all the information and sent it off to Paizo might have just taken the absolute worst suggestions, but still, it left a really bad taste in my mouth. Made worse by the fact that years later, when some of my friends started talking about it, I decided to look it up and found a number of the ideas that I remember being mentioned had been implemented in like new classes and resources. So it's obvious that that the ideas were taken, just not used at the core for some reason. And yeah, that's just all around bad. I had to pay for this thing just to test it out. Made tons of suggestions, and my tons of suggestions were just tossed in the trash can. And so that's kind of why I never really got into Pathfinder and don't entirely like it. Is it a bit dumb that I don't like Pathfinder simply because of this one thing that happened way back in the beta? Maybe. And I mean, I did play a few games, and it wasn't super different from 3.5 at the time. But yeah. And of course, like I said, 4th edition basically killed D&D for me. After 4th edition came out, basically the entire group I was in disintegrated. Some people wanted to stick with 3.5. Some people wanted to keep on trying to bash their heads against Pathfinder. And some people had... Well, actually, I don't think anyone moved to 4th edition. I think those who looked at it just sort of got disgruntled and quit. It just wasn't something they were into. And that's pretty much how it all went. My days of D&D basically just buttered to a halt because a combination of real life, a side system that was just ignoring everything I told them, and a new system that was everything I hated. There was like Star Wars Saga Edition 2, which I hated at the time. I grew okay enough with it, but still it's one of those. Instead of just making like a 3.5 version of Star Wars, we're just gonna make a whole new version that just throws out everything and is actually some of the stuff is just as overpowered, if not more so. Funnily enough. But yep, that's pretty much the whole of it. After this is pretty much the end of anything to do with that old group. After this, pretty much be moving on. I think I'm going to make a video with a few of the games I messed with, sort of between groups, I guess. When I was just trying to scratch that D&D itch. But then I'll be moving on to the group I had after the one with Fox. I'm a little bit wary about it because there was stuff that happened, but I'm trying to, give all the information I can with the people who are okay with me sharing the information. And there's only like 1 or 2 people from that time I'm still in contact with, so it shouldn't be too big of a problem. But some of the stuff that happened is still a bit of a I have regrets, basically, because any of the fun, good times I had with that group was pretty much destroyed by just 1 or 2 people, maybe 3. But yeah, that's gonna be coming up next. Some little short story, or some little here's a D&D game I was running, and then this thing happened and it died, basically. But yep, that'll be it for now. So if you liked the video, be sure to comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all again next time.